Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our first installment of this year's league racing. We have the FMR Tier 2 Round 1 race at Austria, and here we are going to be heading into our setup and getting into the first bit of qualifying for you. We have signed up to a few leagues this season, so we're going to be putting in some more content over on YouTube, so we're looking to get a bit more involved over here. If you do like the content, drop a sub, maybe like, comment, tell me what you liked about it, but I hope you enjoy the video. So you can see here we're just putting in our outlap, warming up our tyres, but I'm sure this is the stuff you don't want to see, so we'll get it fast forwarded and to the start of the lap.
I'm getting dirty, yeah.
So we stuck it into the 104s, but we are going to go for two back-to-back laps here, so let's see what we can pull on the second lap.
Fuel remaining.
Not bad. A 103.902 coming in for our second fast lap. So we're going to stick in our in lap. We'll come back out. We'll see if we can improve on that. FMR. Hold on, mate. Give me a sec.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Exclamation point FMR. I think. Oh, I don't mind. I'll set that up. Across the line there, we've got a slight improvement, a 103.772. We do go again for our back-to-back laps, but you can see some premium work from Nikita Mazepin coming in just ahead. Haas. I want to put it on pole, I ain't gonna lie, but I know I can just overtake down into turn 1.
Our best lap so far is a 1:03.7.
What do you reckon, chat? Should I go for pole? Or just stick it where I am and save a set of softs to the race? So as you can see, we definitely had to send it and try and get it on pole. So let's send our out lap and see how that goes. I'll see you at the start of the next qualifying lap.
Oh, spun. Anyway.
Valid. So as you can see, clearly bottled that lap, but we do carry on and start another lap just afterwards. So let's see how that one goes.
I'm validated anyway.
Just 30
Chomp the
seconds
curb.
left in the session.
As you can see, I was up. We could have maybe got it. I don't think we quite would have got the time on Dan, but we chomped the curb there, which completely ruined our lap. So let's see where the standings put just before we head into the race. And there you go. That is qualifying finish. We got Dan strong in P1 with a 103.482, followed up by Team McLaren with me and myself, Cammy, both are heavily into the 103s, with Lars and Paul Geiler coming in 5th. Finishing out the top 10, we got Lexus Poland, Bryson, Valen, and Finsick. You can see the rest of the times down there on your screen. It was all pretty close all around. I feel like I had a pretty strong qualifying. I don't quite think I could have got pole. But yeah, let's see how this moves the momentum into the race. So getting into the race now, I personally thought that soft medium one stop was the way to go. So that's what I'm going to go with. I believe my teammate Cammy also went with the same play. I didn't want to fight too much going into turn 1. So we sort of left the fighting out really. The plan was to, whoever got the best start out of the McLarens, let the other one through into fighting onto pole position with Dan in front. And we'll see how the battle elapses from that point. But I think we got a great start overall. So let's see how the strategy comes into play throughout the race. Come on, pad start.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. Hopefully.
Just don't take Dan out in turn 1. Jesus Christ.
But
At least I'll die happy. Yep. Safety car. So, usual Austria turn 1 action. There was carnage. Also an absolute send from one of the cars into the hairpin as well. So carnage at the start always at Austria. So let's see what happens in the rest of the race. Let's practice DRS. Two warnings already. Jesus Christ.
that's a warning.
So we've already put in a pretty decent gap to Lars behind us on the mediums, but I'm sure that gap will not last long as our soft tyres start to drop off into sort of laps 6 and 7. It's incoming.
Got a lot of understeer with this.
Yeah, just don't catch that dirty air and spin. Oh yeah, I forgot to add it as a command. I f***ed up. Right, I'm probably not going to re-chat for a while now.
Okay,
Got 2
DRS is
warnings.
now
I've
available.
got two as well. So I am going to leave you in the action for quite a bit here because Dan and Cammy have an absolutely savage battle for probably about 4 or 5 laps.
Okay, clear.
Don't fight it too hard.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes' time. Rain in 10 minutes. Some absolutely cracking laps coming in at this point. I am starting to struggle a little bit with my battery management on keeping up with these guys because honestly they are pushing so hard. So at the minute I'm just sitting back trying to stay in the DRS and try and conserve a bit more on my battery because so far for me not going well. Just be careful. I mean, let's be realistic. Dan is pretty much smelling Cammy's air freshener at this point. He's that close going through sector 3.
Copy.
So as you can see there, both Cammy and Dan now have 3-second penalties in front of us. So my thinking here, I need to wait for Dan to overtake Cammy and then probably get as close as I can to the back of Cammy for us both to overtake Dan at the same time to try and back him up as much as possible for Cammy to get away. Safety car possible. Yeah, you don't even need to take them, but all I have to do is just stay here because they both got penalties. I need to get close enough on the next lap to take Dan though. So literally at this point I'm just saving as much battery as possible, letting them two fight, just trying to get as close as I can to it as possible to dump it all and just get some position done.
My tyres are pretty dead here.
Slight bit of contact there, that could have ended in an absolute disaster. Let's keep it going. We're going to make the move up the inside into the braking zone. Dan's still carrying the speed around the outside. Still sticking out the inside. Dump a bit of that battery just to make sure we get the position done. He's still there on the inside, but we're sending it around the outside, getting the move done. McLaren 1-2. Let's see if we can get him back as much as possible. Get Cammy some clear air. Ready for our strategy to come into play around lap 14.
I'm going to try to lap 12.
So we need to make sure we get an absolutely sterling exit out of here because Dan obviously is going to want his position back. Under the DRS, sending some battery. I'm going to have to go up the outside of my teammate here. He does yield for me. He knows what's happening. Tucks back in behind me to make sure we both keep the position. But Dan is still fighting it hard between Cammy. But still, we managed to make the position stick again. 1-2 McLaren. They are still battling hard into the DRS zone as Dan does try to send a move up the inside. Almost coming into contact with the back end of me. Still managing to come out of it. They're still fighting hard through the middle of this sector 2. Coming into sector 3 now. Absolutely great racing from the front rear here at the FMR race. So here we're more than likely going to lose our position to Cammy under the DRS, but let's see what we can do. Can we keep Dan behind as well?
Green flag.
And Dan goes for it up the inside. Can he make it stick? Slight bit of contact on the exit as I try to get the traction. Still side by side as we go through the DRS zone. Getting ourselves a bit of battery. Dan still sticking it up the inside. We're going to have to go for the move around the outside and make it stick. Late on the brakes. Picking up a penalty there. Slightly out of the track limits, but trying to make it stick. Still going around the outside. As much battery use as I possibly can. Clean up the inside. No contact. Still up the inside of him. Getting the move done. But no, Dan around the outside with the confidence. Still slight contact there. But we couldn't stick the position. Dan getting the move done on us. Boxing. But we are going to send it into the box for the medium tyres because we are emptying some rain at the end of this race. So let's see what we can do on these tyres.
I'll box this lap.
I held him up a bit for you.
Nice.
Perfect. Come on. The fucking shit track limits there. That's a bullshit penalty. Someone clip that.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
I don't think I'll keep ahead of him.
So here we come back out of the box. We've come out just tucked in behind the Haas with 5 seconds on him. Obviously, we need to take our penalty into account, but we need to try reeling him in as fast as we can. So I'm going to cut forward a little bit of the action just so we can chomp that gap down a bit.
He spun.
Let's go.
He spun on the pit
5 minutes
entrance.
until rainfall expected. 5
As you can
minutes
hear, my
until
teammate let me know there that Dan did spin out under the pit entry, so he's obviously going to lose a bit of time with that. But we've also got Jeff coming in with the knowledge that rain is inspected in 5 minutes. So we need to keep our heads down, keep that knowledge in mind, and see what unfolds. So we got our teammate just feeding out the pits in front of us. We're not going to put up too much of a fight against him. He does hold the better pace than us around Austria, so we want to make it as clear as him to get away from us and go toward that Haas and fight on in his race. So here we are, both behind the Haas's now. Haas with the strategy to stop the McLaren from passing him. I'm going to tuck him behind. So we got one of our cars past him. Now we just need to see if I can get past him as well and move on with our race and clear him. He is on 14 old lap mediums. So he is putting up quite a fight, losing us quite a bit of time. So we need to try and get him as dispatched as quickly as possible. But as you can see, we can't get past him, fighting through here. Looks like he's going to pit, doesn't pit. We have to back off a little bit more and lose it on the curb under the dirty air. Awful racing from me there. Awful racing. Let's see if we can get back into this fight as quickly as possible.
Any damage?
Nah. Mate, that needs to get the out of the way on his busted ass tyres.
race on these tyres.
Yeah. I don't know why I did that. I'm 1 warning away from another pen.
Caution, caution.
So, I'm just going to get my head down, fight my way back into the race, and we'll see how it turns out. The box now. So, clearly starting to feel the effects of the rain coming down now.
2 more laps.
So, lap 18, starting to rethink the strategy a bit. We're going to go for 1 more lap, see if we can make these mediums last throughout this lap. And then we're going to throw it in the pits, try and get some inters on. Maybe there's a safety car, we don't know.
It's going to cost me so much time. The lights are flashing as well. What the fuck is this guy doing?
Our gap to the car in front is 5.0 seconds.
Oh shit, sorry Poland mate. I'm in a box.
Understood. Stop.
So, here we go. We're going to go for the double stacked stop. Probably not the best idea, but we're going to pull it off anyway. So, here we are, double stacked. Hoping not to get held for too long.
Big stop.
Bolting on the inters. Back out we go.
Go. You'll be racing on the exit.
Perfect stop there. Send it back out, see what we can do under these intermediate tyres.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Alpine's just crashed.
Green flag.
Come on, Dale.
And there we go, safety car deployed, completely neutralising the racing, group the field back together. Inevitable under the rain. Usually, most league races are going to pull a safety car under the rain. So let's see how this changes the race. It's probably going to be 2, 3, maybe 4 laps under the safety car. So we'll see how it unfolds. So just to bring you back in here quick, the thought of what's going on here under this safety car is the rain isn't as expected it was going to be when Jeff first called the inters. Apparently the track's about to dry up in 5 minutes, so we're sort of dicing up the call to throw it into the pit now, bolt on the slick tyres, go to the back and fight through, or just send it last minute into the pits, get the slicks on. But our main thinking here is we want to get onto the slick tyres before everybody else. So we're going to try and pull off the perfect strat call as this safety car ends. Hopefully it plays out.
But this Aston is going to crash into me soon. I'm going to go on the last corner.
We're finished leaving the world's biggest gap at the minute. And here we go as racing gets back underway. Try and get as much traction on the start as we can. Don't want to dump too much power.
My tyres are freezing.
Try and maintain the gap to Poland behind us. Good restart from everyone. The back markers pull out the way to let the front runners continue their racing. We've got Cami, followed by Brizin, followed by Finzik, followed by me into Poland and Galaxy and P6. Let's see how this race plays out. So at this point we still are thinking, enters the play or do we send it back into the box, get the slicks bolted on as soon as we can.
But be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race.
Man, this Alpha Tower is all over my arse.
I'm so bad in the rain.
I don't think the line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a while longer.
I'm hoping I can box next lap.
We're not box yet.
Jeff's saying it's still inters. I'm boxing.
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
So there we go, we've pulled the
Box,
trigger.
box.
We're both going to send it in for the double stack again. Get the soft tyres on. Let's see what we can do. Currently DRS is still disabled. We're hoping we can time this absolutely perfectly to be coming out of the box at the exact time that DRS gets enabled again. If we could do that, that'd be the perfect strategy play pushing forward towards the end of this race.
There's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
So coming up now into the final 2 turns. Peeling off.
They're staying out.
Cheeky little cut of the pit entry as we send it into the box. Double stack again, McLaren.
I'm boxing. Everyone's staying out.
Go, go, go.
Watch DRS enabled as we come out of pit. Yes! Perfect strategy call there. So we've got these mediums to last us until the end of the race now. Everybody on the inters is still... They are definitely going to start to struggle pretty quickly as this track is drying up very, very quickly. So let's bring you back as we start cutting through this grid. So coming back into the action now, you can pretty much see all of the teams peeling off into the pit lane, bolting their slick compound tyres on. There is a lone Ferrari that does stay out on the grid for at least another 3 laps on the intermediate tyres. Lord knows what the strategists were thinking at the Ferrari garage, but they definitely need to rethink the scenario, the strategy there. So getting back into the action, we pretty much made all of the time back that we lost from that spin earlier. We are on the better compound of tyre, pushing towards the end of this race. We can definitely go to the end. The softs are going to struggle a little bit towards the end of the 9-lap stint,
I've got a Ferrari
but
on
they're
it.
still going to have no problems pushing the rest of this race. So hopefully we should be a little bit better than them on pace towards the end of the race. Hopefully there's no more safety cars, but we don't know what's going to happen.
Poland's catching me. He has a 5-second penalty. That Ferrari's just staying out on inters.
We're going to look to get the move done on Brizin here. Even though we do have 6 seconds worth of penalties, we need to try and get as far up that grid as fast as possible in these last laps. And here we come up to the Ferrari on the alternate strategy, getting him quickly dispatched.
Come on, Dale, good stuff.
Gap to teammate ahead is 4.3 seconds.
Just hope Poland doesn't. I'm gonna let Poland pass anyway.
In a pretty stiff battle here with the AlphaTauri. Going to be as defensive as possible while leaving as much room as possible. Because obviously he is in the closest contention of taking our teammate off of the podium, who's currently in first place. But Bryson does have a 3-second penalty. But his teammate also has a 3-second penalty. So we need to try and hold both the AlphaTauris up as much as possible towards the end of this race for our teammate. Got the Red Bull very, very close behind us. Going to defend as much as we dare. He is going to be carrying that momentum up the DRS straight. Noticing that Brizin has run out of ERS, so we're going to have to push him as much as possible with the little remaining battery as we've got to stop this threat from the Red Bull. Hopefully get in front of the AlphaTauri, leaving as much space on the inside as we can. Can we get the move done?
He hasn't crashed, he's just parked.
Still side by side.
Green flag.
Carrying it down into the next DRS zone. AlphaTauri still up the inside of us. Going around the outside. Beautiful side-by-side racing here with the AlphaTauri and the McLaren, but Bryson does get the move done. Still flashing light. We're going to keep as close as we can for the move into the next sector.
Off.
And there we go. We have another safety car coming out, neutralising the racing again. This safety car is going to take us almost up to the end of the race. We're probably going to have about maybe 2 laps worth of racing left. So we're going to see what happens after the end of this safety car. We're definitely going to keep the medium tyres bolted on. But there's some people in front of us that are probably going to box for some new softs, either surfacing penalties. But this would be a great time to do it. But we are not looking good in terms of strategy now on the medium tyres. So here we are. I'm going to drop you straight back into the action now. I'm not going to do any more cuts. The last 3 laps of this race are absolutely glorious. And here we go, back under racing. Try to get as much traction as we can.
Oh, you got such a
Brisbane with an
start.
absolutely fantastic exit on Cammy.
Okay, clear.
He's going to send it up the inside into the turn 1, getting the move
Doing
done
all
up
the
the
DRS.
inside. Cammy on the outside. Both of them side by side through the first DRS straight, heading towards turn 2 and 3. Still side by side. I'm picking up as many pieces as I can from this while still keeping Galaxy and Finn behind me. I've got to do my best job to help my teammate here take the win.
Yeah, I got a bit of a boost there.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Absolutely everybody sending in as much battery as they can for these last laps. Close racing as we go into this end of the sector 2 here. He's out of ERS.
Is he? I've got 45%.
I'm in an AlphaTauri sandwich here. Right up the back of Brisbane. 45% ERS still left on Cammy to try and break away. Pushing into lap 35 here. Still trying as hard as we can to keep Finsick behind us. Just parking it in the middle of the track at this point.
Dan's coming as well.
Coming through this final sector, I know I need to get the move done on Brisbane for Cammy to secure the victory. So I need to get as close to him as I can. Coming through onto turn 1.
DRS comes on.
No DRS coming on.
Okay, the stewards
DRS enabled now. We're going to have to send the move up the inside of Brisbane into turn 1 now. Getting it done.
Dale.
Sticking the switchback on the
Come on, Cammy
outside
boy.
of me now. Finsick trying to make the move up the inside. 3 wide going into the hairpin at Austria now.
remaining.
Making the move stick. Switchback on Brisbane. We've held him up as much as we possibly can for our teammate to come through and get the win here at Austria. Still trying to hold his position. Sending it round the outside of Brisbane. Our main aim here is just to keep both AlphaTauris as far back as we can.
Green flag.
Parking it in the middle of the circuit. Here we go, coming up to the start of Sector 3 now. 2 more corners left to bring it across the line for McLaren. Cammy P1, me in P3. Final turning.
Oh, I got another
Picking up a
penalty
penalty. Bringing it across the line.
Oh, Cammy!
There we go.
Let's go, boy! Let's go, big boy! Yes, Poland got it, but fuck!
You're joking.
Oh, mate!
Not
Oh,
another
Poland got you, but you're still P2.
Fucking take that.
Ripping with 10 gifted. Oh, what a race for the boys. Penalties. And there you go, boys and girls. There is this week's instalment of the FMR Tier 2 race. Some absolutely phenomenal racing. We got Poland picking up P1 after penalties, but because he is a reserve driver, Cammy does bring home the victory. Me coming home in 6th place. McLaren currently leading the constructors, with Cammy leading the Drivers' Championship. We've got Japan coming up on Thursday. I hope to see you all in that race. If you did enjoy this series, please do subscribe to the channel and drop a like. It will mean a lot moving forward. I plan to make this a weekly feature every Monday. So I will see you in the next instalment. Goodbye.